Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues in the first row, welcome to our annual conference on behalf of ACEM as Vice President of the European Association of the Motorcycle Producers. Not just the motorcycle producers, we are also representing all the so-called lightweight vehicle category from L1 to L7, 2 wheels, 3 wheels, 4 wheels, however. So we are covering all these kind of vehicles. So before I'm just as a sort of a warm-up touching the theme of the day, I think let's see our environment in Europe. So don't get bored and I would say demoralized. If you look to the first chart, that's Europe. Yeah, after almost already we are heading towards the 5th year of the crisis. So everybody get used to that. Every day we can read it and see it on TV wherever. So it's part of the game, it's called. So since 4 years we have a real tough environment. And although some politicians are saying us now we have overcome and the crisis is over, I can tell you, as a forefront runner, as an entrepreneur, as a manager on the real daily market, it's just started. It takes many years to overcome that situation, but it's not our main matter today. But that leads me to a very important, I think, and the crucial thing. If you go to the next slide, it's the unemployment rate. And there's a specific one in Europe. It's the unemployment rate of young people. I can tell you that's the most critical challenge we are facing for the future. If you are not able to solve that problem in a certain manner, I think then it doesn't look very good for Europe. And I don't have very often the possibility to express it from my personal standpoint. I can tell you I don't understand. I don't have any understanding that meanwhile billions of euros are heading to the financial industry, to the banks, and they are still kept in the banks, instead of talking about an employment program for young people in Europe. I think that's maybe one message I would like to get rid of that. But that affects immediately our business. If you go to the next slide, you will see how the power two-wheeler market has developed throughout 5 years. Keep it simple, we lost half of our market. And nobody was, it's clear, motorcycle industry is a niche industry. We are employing overall, we were discussing this morning, around 200,000 people in Europe. Compared to the car industry or automotive industry, which is the formal definition, it's more or less nothing, but 200,000 people. And we didn't get a scrap-up scheme, we didn't get support from local, we just lost 50% of the market. And I think that's tough. And as a consequence, it's clear all the production numbers what we have in Europe, it's the same style. We lost half of that, coming from 1.4 million power two-wheelers. Now we, in the last year, around 700,000. It's a logical consequence out of that. But although and however, I think we are still alive, and we are a small and medium-sized company, industry. We are very flexible. We are, I think, taking more risk, and we are adopting about that situation. And I wouldn't say we have overcome, but we are challenging and we're doing our best. And we try to deliver our part for the European goals. That means employment, that means mobility, and our contribution to the economy. But 2013, as I already indicated in the beginning, it has just started. As for the whole Europe, we expect, I would say, a 0 GDP rate on average. There's some differences between the southern part and the northern part or middle part, but overall, where should recovery coming from? Yeah, the whole population gets older, less young people, and the immigration, we were very clever in Europe, I can tell you, compared to Canada or Australia. So that what should help? Secondly, due to the high unemployment rate, the consumer spending liquidity is going down dramatically. So that means, yeah, the cake is getting smaller and it's getting tougher. But although there are big possibilities and chances for our industry, and I think that comes out of the crisis. The power two-wheeler will come back as a commuting item in the first step in the urban mobility, and you call it green mobility, whatever. So, and also electric energy or electric driven mobility is coming, if it is coming the first time for the two-wheeler and the lightweight vehicle. Everything else, I can tell you, it's within the next 10 years you can tell stories, but in big quantities it's just on the two-wheeler, because it's the weight of the vehicle. 100 kilos, 80 kilos, that's the base that you can do it with the existing battery technology. And I think also the power two-wheeler motorcycle can bring to you a huge solution for the big problems in the urban area for mobility. And don't exclude that, I think finally, where it's one of our themes today, motorcycle riding and motorcycling, it's also passion, it's also leisure and racing. And I can tell you, as a representative of one of the world market leaders of sport and racing bikes, it's a profitable segment. It's highly innovative and gives you the chance to transfer that developments in the serial product, which in the future for sure in the lightweight vehicle segment is coming up. And so I think it's just as a sort of a warm-up. Time is very tough, but it's for everybody the same. And if you look to Europe, where we are talking about decreasing numbers, just to give you a quick glance on the North American situation, since almost 2 years, the power two-wheeler market has found the bottom. Also, we lost 50% of the total volume, but it's going slightly up. So in US, the money printing activity is already flowing to the retail financing, so it seems it's getting better. I don't talk about is it good or bad. And the big future, it's Asia. Huge markets, huge growth rates. So I think that's also the challenge for the European manufacturers. It's not just sitting in Europe waiting where the market is decreasing. You have to look for additional markets. You have to have more or less 3 feet in America, in Asia and Europe as well. That's just a quick glance where the world is heading towards. And now let's come and discover how motorcycling matters, enjoy our life. Okay, thank you very much.